Before we begin, settle in and get comfortable. Close your eyes. Feel your body becoming heavy, still, and calm, as if you yourself are a part of the ancient granite foundation of this world. Leave the passing seconds at the door. We are beginning our immersion into eternity. The weight of existence. Before you even hear the first word, I want you to feel the weight of the blanket over your body. Don't think of it as a burden. Think of it as a layer of sediment. You are becoming a part of the floor, a part of the foundation. You are no longer a creature of the air, moving frantically through the day. You are a creature of the stone. You are becoming ancient. You are becoming still. Imagine that the room around you is dissolving. The walls are melting away, and the ceiling is replaced by a sky of molten orange and thick sulfurous clouds. We are going back 4 billion years. The world is not a place of birds and trees. It is a world of fire and rhythm. The earth is a heartbeat of liquid rock. Close your eyes and feel the heat. Not a burning heat, but a deep internal warmth, the kind of warmth that exists at the center of a star. You are a single atom of carbon floating in a sea of liquid iron. You're being squeezed, forged, and pushed by pressures that would crush a diamond into dust. This is your birth. This is the beginning of the ether. The cooling. Slowly, the eons begin to turn. Time in this place does not move in seconds or minutes. It moves in millions of years. The liquid orange surface of the planet begins to darken. It develops a skin, a crust. Imagine the sound of 1 billion panes of glass cooling at once, a vast, cracking, groaning symphony of obsidian and basalt. You are a part of that crust. You're a jagged edge of volcanic glass, looking out over a world where the first oceans are falling from the sky. The rain doesn't fall for an hour. It falls for 1,000 years. The water is boiling, turning to steam as it hits the hot rock, creating a mist so thick that the sun is nothing more than a faint, ghostly memory. Feel the steam on your skin. Feel the water rushing into the hollows of the earth, filling the first basins, creating the first seas. You are the shore. You are the solid thing that holds the liquid. There is a deep, tectonic satisfaction in this. You are the stability in a world of chaos. You are the granite, and the granite does not hurry. The tectonic grumble. Now, feel the movement beneath you. The earth is not one solid piece. It is a puzzle of massive plates, and they are starting to move. Deep in the dark, miles below your feet, the plates are grinding against one another. It is a sound that is too low for the human ear to hear, but your body can feel it. It is a vibration in the marrow of your bones. You are being pushed. You are at the edge of a continent. 2 giants are meeting, and neither will give way. The only direction to go is up. Imagine the slow, agonizing, magnificent rise of a mountain range. It takes 10 million years to grow an inch. You are being lifted out of the dark, out of the sea, and into the thinning air. You are becoming a peak. Your head is reaching for the clouds. The pressure that once tried to melt you is now the strength that keeps you standing. You look down at the world below. The oceans have cooled. The air is clear. And for the first time, the stars we talked about before, the silent watchers, look down and see you. You are the first thing on this planet to touch the sky. You are a monument to patience. The first silence. There's a specific kind of silence that exists at the top of a mountain before life began. It is a silence without wind, because the atmosphere is still settling. It is a silence without the buzzing of insects or the rustle of leaves. It is the silence of pure physics. Lying there in your bed, try to inhabit that silence. It is a heavy, thick peace. It is the realization that nothing needs to happen. The mountain doesn't need to do anything to be a mountain. It just is. You watch the moon. Back then, the moon was much closer to the Earth. It was a massive glowing orb that filled half the sky. Its gravity pulled at your rocky sides, a constant rhythmic tug that reminded you that you were connected to the celestial gears. Every night, the moon's light washed over your granite faces, turning the black rock into silver. You were the first witness to the moon's beauty. You stood there, immovable, as the tides of the young ocean crashed against your base, and the moon pulled the water back and forth, back and forth. Let your breath follow that tide, in and out. The moon pulls the air into your lungs. The earth pushes it back out. You are a part of the planetary rhythm. You are the stone, and the stone is at peace. The arrival of the ice millions of years pass in a blink. The sun grows a little dimmer, or perhaps the earth tilts just a fraction of a degree. The rain stops being water and starts being white. At first, it is a novelty, a few flakes of snow landing on your dark, warm peaks. But the snow doesn't melt. It stays. It piles up. Inch by inch, century by century, the snow becomes ice, and the ice becomes a glacier. Feel the weight of the ice. It is a different kind of pressure than the fire of the core. It is a cold, blue weight. The glacier is a river of glass, moving so slowly that even you, the mountain, can barely perceive it. But as it moves, it carves you. It polishes your rough edges. It grinds the boulders at your feet into fine gray flour. You are being sculpted by the winter. You are losing the jagged anger of your volcanic birth and becoming smooth, elegant, and wise. The blue light of the glacier reflects into the caves of your heart. You are a cathedral of ice now. The silence has become even deeper because the snow muffles everything. Under the ice, you are warm. The Earth's core still hums far below, and the ice acts as a blanket. You are tucked in. You are protected from the wind and the sun. You are in a long, frozen sleep that will last for 100,000 years. Do not be afraid of the long sleep. The mountain knows that the spring always comes, even if it takes an age. The mountain knows that the ice is just a phase. And so, you settle into the frost. You let the blue shadows of the glacier fill your mind. You are the mountain, and the mountain is dreaming of the sun. The long thaw. The ice does not leave all at once. It is a slow retreat, a reluctant surrender of the White Kingdom. For thousands of years, you have felt the crushing weight of the glaciers on your chest. You have been a prisoner of the blue frost. But now, a change is coming. The sun is growing stronger, its golden fingers reaching deeper into the valleys. Imagine the sound of the first drip. A single bead of water, held in suspense for a century, finally breaking free and falling into the dark. Then another, and another. Soon, the silence of the ice is replaced by the symphony of the thaw. The glaciers are weeping. They are shrinking back, leaving behind the treasures they stole from you, the boulders, the gravel, the ground-up dust of your own granite heart. As the weight lifts, you feel a strange sensation. You are rising. Without the billion tons of ice pressing down on you, your rocky plates begin to flex and rebound. You are breathing again. The valleys that were carved by the ice are now open to the sky. They are long, deep scars of gray rock, waiting for something to fill them. You are the empty vessel, the stone cradle, waiting for the first breath of the green world. The root and the stone. At first, it is subtle, a tiny patch of lichen, no bigger than a thumbprint, clinging to your sun-warmed face. It is a humble pioneer, a creature of patience that rivals your own. It eats the wind and drinks the rain, slowly turning your hard surface into the first grains of soil. You feel its tiny, invisible fingers searching for a grip in your pores. It doesn't hurt. It feels like a soft caress, a quiet promise that you are no longer alone. Then come the mosses. They spread across your shaded ledges like a plush emerald carpet. They hold the water, creating tiny miniature oceans in every crevice. You feel the dampness soaking into your skin. It is a cooling, soothing feeling. The mountain is becoming a garden. But then, the green world grows bold. The first trees begin to climb your slopes. These are not the trees you know. They are massive, fern-like giants with trunks like scales and leaves that reach for the sun like frantic hands. They send their roots deep. They don't just cling to you, they enter you. They find the cracks in your armor, the hidden veins of water and minerals. Feel the roots. They are like a million slow-moving lightning bolts branching out through your dark interior. They are a network of life, a web that binds the mountain together. The trees are breathing, and for the first time, the atmosphere begins to change. The air grows thick and sweet. The carbon is being pulled from the sky and woven into the wood. You are a part of a great lung. Every leaf that falls and every root that grows is a part of your own expansion. You are no longer just a rock. You are a living, breathing monument. The vibration of the colossi. As the forests thicken, the air begins to hum. It is a new sound, the sound of wings. Giant insects, dragonflies with wingspans like eagles, dart through the mist of your valleys. Their hum is a high, vibrating note that resonates in your granite peaks. But they are light. They are just a tickle on your skin. Then comes the weight. From the shadows of the ferns, the first giants emerge, great cold-blooded reptiles with legs like pillars and tails that sweep the earth. When they move, the ground trembles. It is not the deep tectonic groan of the plates, but a rhythmic, living thud. You feel them walking on your feet. You feel their massive bodies brushing against your lower slopes. Imagine a brachiosaurus, its neck reaching as high as your lower cliffs, stripping the leaves from the trees. Its weight is immense, a concentrated pressure that you haven't felt since the days of the ice. But this weight is warm. It is a living pulse. You watch them for millions of years. You see them hatch from eggs in the warm sand at your base. You see them grow into mountains of flesh, and you see them return to the earth when their time is done. You are the silent host to this parade of giants. They think they are the masters of the world, but you know the truth. They are just shadows passing over the stone. Their entire history, the rise of their empires, the thundering of their footsteps, their final silent disappearance, is just a summer afternoon in the life of the mountain. You hold their bones in your layers. You turn their legacy into coal and oil. You are the vault of their memories, the great stretching. While the life on your surface is busy growing and dying, the deep earth is restless again. Pangaea, the supercontinent that held all the land in one tight embrace, is beginning to tear. You feel a tension in your roots that you haven't felt in an age. The earth is stretching. Imagine the sound of a continent splitting. It is a slow, deep, terrifying groan. To the east, the ground is pulling away. A great rift is opening, and the sea is rushing in to fill the gap. You are moving. You aren't just a peak anymore. You are a traveler. You are drifting away from your brothers, carried on the back of a tectonic plate like a passenger on a slow-moving raft. The Atlantic is opening. Every year, you are an inch further away from the mountains that once touched your shoulders. You feel the distance in your stone heart. The world is becoming wider, more fragmented. The oceans are growing deeper. You watch as the map of the world is redrawn, line by slow line. You stay still, but the world moves around you. You are the fixed point in a shifting sea. As you lie in your bed, feel that drift. Imagine your bed as a tectonic plate moving slowly through the dark, carrying you across the eons. You don't need to steer. You don't need to worry about the destination. The Earth knows the way. The gravity of the world is your captain. Just lie back and feel the magnificent slow-motion journey of the continents, the fire and the ash. But life is fragile, and the stone is hard. Occasionally, the Earth reminds the green world who is truly in charge. Deep below you, the magma is rising again, not to build you up this time, but to break through. One day, the sky turns black, not with the night, but with ash. From a vent miles away, the fire of the core erupts. The sun is blotted out. The thick green forests that have covered you for millions of years begin to wither. The heat returns, not the gentle warmth of the sun, but the searing, suffocating heat of the volcano. You watch as the world you knew is buried. The great reptiles vanish into the gray dust. The trees are turned to charcoal. The mountain is stripped bare, reduced once again to the gray granite and black basalt of its birth. You are a witness to the end of an age. But you are not sad. The mountain has seen this before. You know that under the ash, the seeds are waiting. You know that the fire clears the path for something new. You stand there in the gray silence, a lonely sentinel in a world of ash, waiting for the rain to return. You are the survivor. You are the granite. And you can wait forever for the first green leaf to return. The small and the patient. The world is quiet after the great fire. The thundering footsteps of the giants are gone. But in the cracks of your rocks, in the hidden burrows where the ash couldn't reach, something else is moving. They are small. They are covered in fur. Their hearts beat fast, a frantic, tiny rhythm compared to your slow, rocky pulse. These are the survivors. While the giants relied on their size, these creatures rely on their warmth. They carry the sun inside them. You feel them scuttling over your ledges. Their tiny claws make a clicking sound on the granite. They are the mammals, the whispers in the dark. They are the new architects of the world. For millions of years, they were just shadows under the feet of the dinosaurs, but now the world belongs to the small. As you breathe, feel your own heart. It is a mammalian heart. It is fast, but it is steady. It is a warm engine in a cold universe. You are related to those tiny survivors. You carry their fire. The mountain watches you with a curious, rocky affection. You are the newest song in the ancient choir, the rise of the grass. The forests return, but they are different now. They are more colorful, more vibrant. Flowers begin to bloom on your slopes, the first time the mountain has ever seen the colors of the rainbow in the world of the living. Blue, red, yellow. They are like tiny jewels scattered across your gray shoulders. But the most important change is the grass. The grass is a soft green sea that flows over the plains at your feet and climbs your lower hills. It is a resilient, endless carpet. It doesn't grow tall like the ferns. It grows wide. It holds the soil in place. It feeds the new herds, the horses, the deer, the creatures that run with a speed the dinosaurs never knew. You feel the wind moving through the grass. It is a soft, shushing sound, a whisper that never ends. The mountain is being softened. The sharp edges of your youth are being padded with layers of life. You are becoming a home. Birds build their nests in your crags. Eagles use your highest peaks as lookouts. You are no longer just a geological event. You are an ecosystem. You are a mother to a million living things. The ice returns. Time turns again. The long summer of the mammals begins to fade. The air grows sharp once more. You recognize the smell of the long white sleep. The glaciers return from the north. They move faster this time, or perhaps you're just getting older and time seems to move more quickly. Once again, you are buried under the blue weight. Once again, the world becomes a silent kingdom of ice. But this time, It's different. Under the ice, the mammals are still there. Some change their fur to white. Some go deep into your caves to wait out the frost. And some are starting to change in a way you have never seen before. The first tool. One evening, near the end of the Ice Age, a group of creatures gathers in a cave at your base. They are bipeds. They have no fur, only the skins of other animals. They are weak, they are small, and they should not survive the cold. But they have something no other creature has ever had. They have the fire. You feel a tiny prick of heat in your side. They have struck two pieces of your own stone, flint and iron, to create a spark. They have brought the sun into the cave. You watch them. They don't just act by instinct. They plan. They talk. Their voices are a new sound in your history, a complex melodic chatter that fills the hollows of your rocks. They look at your walls, and they see a canvas. With ash and ochre, they paint the animals they hunt. They are trying to capture the world in a way that doesn't involve eating it. They look at you, the mountain, and they give you a name. They create stories about you. You are no longer just a mountain. You are a spirit. You are a god. You are the source of the stone and the protector of the fire. For the first time in 4 billion years, someone is talking back to the stone. The taming of the stone. The ice retreats for the last time, and the humans spread like the grass. They don't just live on you, they change you. They build cities of your granite. They carve your sides into stairs. They dig deep into your heart, not for roots, but for metals. They find the gold, the copper, the iron. They pull the bones of the earth out and turn them into tools, into jewelry, into weapons. You feel a strange, hollow sensation as they mine your interior. It is as if you are giving birth to a new kind of world, a world of geometry and straight lines. They turn your stillness into their cathedrals. Your granite, which once sat in the dark for eons, is now standing in the light of the sun, shaped into pillars and arches. You are being redistributed. Parts of you are in the walls of their houses, parts of you are in the coins in their pockets. You are no longer a single isolated peak. You are the foundation of their civilization. You are the silence that holds up their noise. As you lie in your bed, realize that you are surrounded by the mountain. The walls of your house, the concrete of the street, the glass of your window. It is all the mountain, reshaped by the hands of the firebringers. You are sleeping in a cradle made of deep time. You are safe in the arms of the Granite Memoir, the fever of iron. For thousands of years, the humans were a quiet presence on your slopes. They were shepherds, hunters, and small-scale miners. Their impact on your stone was no greater than the scratching of a bird's claw. But then, quite suddenly, the rhythm changes. The air, which has been sweet and clear since the end of the Ice Age, begins to carry a new scent, the smell of burning coal and the sharp metallic tang of sulfur. You feel a vibration you have never felt before. It is not the slow grind of the tectonic plates or the rhythmic thud of a dinosaur's heart. It is the frantic, high-frequency hum of the machine. The humans have discovered the secret of the steam engine. They have learned how to turn the ancient sunlight you buried millions of years ago, the coal and the oil, back into heat and motion. They come for your heart with a new hunger. They don't just scratch the surface, they blast. They use black powder and then dynamite to tear through your granite skin. You feel the explosions as sharp, stinging jolts. They are building railroads. They are carving tunnels through your very center, laying down veins of iron so that their puffing, clattering trains can move from one side of the world to the other without having to climb your peaks. You watch as the forests are stripped away to feed the furnaces. The green carpet of the grass is replaced by the gray sprawl of the city. To you, the cities look like a strange, fast-growing lichen made of brick and mortar. They grow, they breathe smoke, and they expand across the valleys in a matter of decades, a blink of an eye in your memory. The mountain is being encircled by iron and soot. You are becoming a landmark in a landscape of industry. The invisible web. As the era of steam passes, a new sensation arrives. It is more subtle than the blast of dynamite, but it is far more pervasive. The humans have discovered electricity. They have begun to wrap the world in a web of copper wire. You feel the pulse. High atop your peaks, they plant tall towers of steel. These towers don't just sit on you, they hum. They are broadcasting waves of information through the air. Radio, television, the invisible signals of 1,000 conversations. You are no longer just a physical barrier. You are an antenna. The very air around you is vibrating with human thought, human music, and human fear. You feel the satellites passing overhead in the dark, tiny artificial stars that move faster than any planet. The night is no longer dark. The cities at your base glow with a persistent electric orange light that blots out the Milky Way. The humans have tried to abolish the night, but you, the mountain, know that the night is eternal. You wait for the lights to flicker. You wait for the machines to tire. You stand there in the orange glow, a silent observer of the digital pulse, knowing that the wires are fragile and the stone is strong. The great scarring. The hunger grows. The humans no longer just want your iron. They want your rare earths, your lithium, your uranium. They build mines that are so large they can be seen from the moon, vast spiraling pits that look like giant open wounds in the earth. You feel the loss. Thousands of tons of your granite are moved every day. You're being hollowed out, rearranged, and shipped to distant continents to be turned into smartphones, car batteries, and skyscrapers. To the mountain, this feels like a surgical operation performed without anesthesia. You are being redistributed across the planet. But even as they take from you, you realize something profound. Every piece of you they take, every ounce of copper, every grain of silicon, carries your memory. The mountain is now in the pockets of billions of people. You are in the glass of their screens and the steel of their bridges. The humans think they are using you, but in reality, you are infiltrating their world. You are the silent foundation of everything they have built. You are the rock upon which their digital dreams are floating. The warming wind. The atmosphere is changing again. The air is growing heavy with the breath of the machines. The glaciers that had survived since the last ice age, the ones you held so dearly in your high valleys, are beginning to shrink. You feel the water running off you in frantic torrents. The ice, which once sculpted you with such patience, is disappearing in a matter of lifetimes. The snow line is retreating higher and higher up your slopes. The animals that relied on the cold are moving upward, seeking the last patches of frost. The mountain feels the fever of the planet. It is a warm, restless wind that never seems to stop. You watch as the patterns of the weather shift. The rains become more violent, the droughts more prolonged. The humans are worried. You can hear it in their broadcasts, see it in the way they scramble to adapt. They are realizing that they have changed the great planetary gears. You, the mountain, remain still. You have seen the world freeze, and you have seen it burn. You have been a tropical island, and you have been a polar waste. You know that the Earth will eventually find its equilibrium again, but you also know that the cost will be high for the creatures that live on the surface. You watch the melting ice with a sense of quiet mourning, not for yourself, but for the fragile green world that you protect. That could blink from your perspective. This whole era, the steam, the electricity, the digital age, the warming, is just a momentary disturbance. It is a fever that will eventually break. You look down at the bustling cities, the glowing lights, and the roaring highways, and you see them for what they are, a flicker of light in the long, dark hallway of time. You know that one day the machines will stop. The copper wires will turn to green dust. The skyscrapers will crumble into piles of rubble that look very much like the scree slopes at your feet. The forests will return, creeping back over the concrete, reclaiming the gray sprawl for the green kingdom. You are not in a hurry for this to happen, but you are prepared. You have the patience of the granite. You can wait another 1,000,000 years for the silence to return. You are the memoir of the earth, and the human chapter is just a single, frantic page in a book that is millions of pages long. As you lie in your bed, let the frantic energy of the modern world fall away from you. Imagine the roar of the traffic turning into the roar of a distant waterfall. Imagine the glow of your screen turning into the glow of a dying ember. You are returning to the stone. You are returning to the deep time. You are the mountain, and the mountain is ready to sleep through the human blink. The return to the roots. The mountain feels the slowing of the pace. Deep in your base, where the roots of the trees meet the veins of the rock, there is a quiet communication. The trees are not just plants. They are a slow-moving intelligence. They have watched the humans, too, and they are already preparing for the long recovery. You feel the fungal networks, the mycelium, weaving through your soil. They are the internet of the forest, and they have been here long before the humans arrived. They are transferring nutrients, whispering signals, and waiting for the concrete to crack. The mountain draws comfort from this. You are not alone in your patience. You are part of a silent alliance of the ancient things. The stone, the root, and the fungi are the true owners of the world. The humans are just guests, loud, busy, creative guests, but guests nonetheless. Feel your own connection to the ancient things. Your breath is the same oxygen the trees produced millions of years ago. Your bones are the same minerals the mountains forged in the fire. You are not a separate thing from the earth. You are a temporary expression of it. As the night deepens, let your identity as a person with problems dissolve. You are just a part of the geology now. You are a stable, heavy, ancient thing. You are the granite, and the Granite Memoirs coming to a close for today. The quiet. After the storm, the fever finally breaks. To you, the mountain, the era of the machine, was like a sudden bright flash of lightning followed by a rolling peal of thunder. And then, silence. You feel the frantic vibrations in your stone begin to settle. The constant hum of the electric web grows faint, flickering like a dying candle, until one night, it simply stops. The orange glow that has obscured the stars for centuries vanishes. The night returns to its true, velvet blackness. At first, the silence is startling. For the first time in ages, you can hear the wind again. Not the wind whipped by propellers or sliced by skyscrapers, but the long, sighing wind of the open world. You feel the cities at your feet begin to change. Without the humans to fight the rot, the buildings begin to surrender. The glass panes fall from the windows like autumn leaves, shattering silently on the pavement below. The steel beams, once the pride of the industrial age, begin to oxidize, turning a deep, rich red as they return to the iron oxide from which they were forged. You watch as the concrete cracks. It starts with a single blade of grass, a tiny green pioneer finding a weakness in the sidewalk. Within decades, the roads are rivers of green. The skyscrapers become vertical forests, their skeletons covered in vines and moss. To the mountain, this is a beautiful sight. It is the earth healing its scars. The gray sprawl is being digested, slowly and methodically, by the fungi and the roots. You feel the weight of the cities shifting as they crumble, becoming a new layer of sediment, a strange, mineral-rich deposit that will one day be just another line in your geological memoir. The Great Digestion. The Earth is a patient stomach. For millions of years, you have watched it recycle everything: bone, wood, shell, and leaf. Now, it begins to recycle the human legacy. You feel the chemical shift in the soil. The plastics, those strange, stubborn chains of carbon, are finally beginning to break down. It takes 1,000 years, then 10,000, but eventually, the microbes find a way to eat them. The mountains of trash are flattened and buried under layers of new forest. The oceans, too, are cleaning themselves. The great gyres of waste are sinking to the floor, where they are covered by the silt of the rivers. You feel the chemistry of the water returning to its ancient balance. The reefs, which had bleached and died in the heat of the human fever, begin to grow again in the cooler depths. New life forms emerge, creatures that haven't been seen since the Paleozoic, finding niches in the ruins of sunken ships and submerged coastal cities. You, the mountain, feel a sense of profound relief. The tension that had gripped your stone during the Great Acceleration is gone. You are no longer a resource or an antenna. You are back to being a sanctuary. The eagles return to your highest crags in numbers you haven't seen in an age. The bears hibernate in your deep caves, undisturbed by the sound of engines. The world has returned to the rhythm of the seasons, the long, slow breathing of the planet, the dance of the plates revisited. Time continues to stretch. The human era is now a thin, dark line in the cliffs at your base, a layer of ash and glass that marks a brief, chaotic moment. The continents, ever restless, continue their slow-motion ballet. You feel the tug of the deep mantle once again. The Atlantic Ocean, which you watched open with such drama during the age of the dinosaurs, is now starting to close. The Americas are drifting back toward Europe and Africa. You feel the pressure building in your roots as the plates prepare for another great collision. The world is folding in on itself, drawing the scattered lands back into a single embrace. You are being pushed again. New mountains are rising out of the sea, jagged and young, reminding you of your own fiery birth 4 billion years ago. You are no longer a lonely traveler. You are part of a gathering. The mountain ranges of the world are coming together to form a new supercontinent, a vast, unbroken landmass that the future will never name. You feel the shared vibration of your rocky brothers. Together, you create a massive barrier to the winds, shaping the climate of the entire planet. You are the backbone of a new world, a granite throne for the eras yet to come. The brightening sun. But even as the earth heals, a larger change is unfolding in the sky. The sun, your ancient companion, is aging. It is not a sudden change, but over the course of 100 million years, it grows perceptibly brighter and hotter. You feel the heat in your stone, not the frantic heat of the human machines, but a steady, relentless solar pressure. The forests that have reclaimed the world begin to retreat. The lush green valleys at your feet turn into golden savannas, then into scorched deserts. The water cycle is accelerating. The rains are monumental, carving deep canyons into your sides in a matter of millennia, followed by droughts that last for centuries. You feel your granite skin beginning to peel and flake under the intensity of the light, a process of exfoliation that smooths your peaks into rounded, weathered domes. The oceans are starting to thin. The great blue depths are being lost to the vacuum of space, molecule by molecule, as the sun's heat strips away the atmosphere. You watch as the coastlines recede, leaving behind vast white plains of salt. The mountain, which once rose out of a world of water, is now standing in a world of dust. You are the last witness to the liquid age. You hold the memory of the first rain and the last wave in the minerals of your heart. The final watch. Eventually, the green world fades entirely. The last of the trees wither and turn to dust. The last of the animals disappear into the shadows of the canyons. The only life left are the extremophiles, tiny, stubborn organisms living deep within your cracks, feeding on the heat of your interior and the trace minerals of your stone. They are your final companions, the last spark of the biological fire that once roared so brightly across your surface. The earth has become a world of stone and light. The atmosphere is thin and hazy, the sky a deep bruised purple. The stars are visible even during the day, cold and distant, watching as the sun expands into a red giant. You feel the solar wind scouring your surface, stripping away the soil, leaving only the bare, honest granite. You are not afraid. In this absolute silence, you find a new kind of beauty. You are a sculpture of pure time. Every line on your face is a record of 1 billion years of existence. You have seen it all: the fire, the ice, the giants, the machines, the silence. You are the Granite Memoir, and you are almost at the final page. As you lie in your bed, feel the ultimate stillness of the mountain. Imagine that the noise of the world, the history of humanity, and even the life of the planet are just ripples on the surface of a deep, dark pool. You are the pool. You are the bottom. You are the unchanging thing. The heat of the sun is just a warm touch on your skin. The end of the world is just a transition back into the ether. You are ready. You are the stone, and the stone is eternal. The red giant, the sun, which has been your distant father for nearly 5 billion years, is changing its nature. It has exhausted its hydrogen fuel. It is no longer the steady golden orb that nourished the forests and warmed the oceans. It is swelling. It is reddening. It is becoming a red giant. You feel the change in the very marrow of your stone. The heat is no longer something that sits on your surface. It is something that penetrates your core. The atmosphere of the earth is gone, boiled away into the vacuum long ago. There is no blue sky, no clouds, no wind to carry away the heat. There is only the sun, a massive bruised red wall that now fills half the horizon. The silence is absolute. Without air to carry sound, the world has become a pantomime of light and heat. You watch as the moon, your silver companion through the eons, is slowly drawn inward by the sun's expanding gravity, eventually breaking apart into a glowing ring of dust before vanishing into the solar fire. You are alone now. You are the last solid thing in a system that is becoming liquid light. The melting of the memoir. For 4 billion years, you have been granite. You have been a symbol of permanence, a monument to the unyielding strength of the earth. But every material has its limit, and you have reached yours. You feel the softening. It starts at your highest peaks, the ones that first touched the sky in the age of the volcanoes. The quartz crystals, the feldspar, the mica, the minerals that gave you your color and your grit, are beginning to lose their grip on one another. Under the relentless gaze of the red sun, the granite is turning to glass. You watch as your own peaks begin to sag. It is a slow, majestic collapse. The canyons you carved over millions of years are filled with rivers of molten obsidian. The valleys where the humans once built their cities are now lakes of liquid fire. You are returning to the state of your birth. You are losing the shape of a mountain and returning to the essence of the world. There is no pain in this. To the mountain, this feels like the ultimate relaxation. The tension of holding up the sky, the stress of the tectonic plates, the scars of the mines, it is all being smoothed away. You are becoming a smooth, glowing orb of lava, a mirror reflecting the dying sun. You are a liquid memoir now, your history written in the swirls of the magma. the solar embrace. The orbit of the Earth is decaying. The sun's outer atmosphere, the corona, now reaches out to touch you. It is a ghost-like fog of plasma, 1,000,000 degrees of electric fire. As the Earth enters this veil, the friction begins to strip away the planet's outer layers. You feel yourself being unmade. The silicon, the oxygen, the iron, the building blocks of the world are being liberated from their chemical bonds. You are no longer a planet. You are a comet of stone, spiraling slowly into the heart of the star. Imagine the sensation of total dissolution. You are becoming light. The iron that was once in your deep core is being pulled into the sun's magnetic fields. The granite that was once your face is being turned into a stream of glowing gas. You are being breathed in by the sun. It is an alchemical marriage of the highest order. The Earth is returning to its creator. 6.4. The memory of the atoms. As your physical form vanishes, something else remains, the atoms. Every atom that made up the mountain, the iron that felt the weight of the dinosaurs, the carbon that was once a human heart, the silicon that held the memory of the ice, is still there. They cannot be destroyed. They are simply changing their residence. You are now a part of the sun. You are participating in the final frantic fusion of a dying star. You are the fuel for the last flicker of the solar system. The history of the Earth, the 4 billion years of struggle and beauty, is now a part of the sun's final message to the universe. You feel a strange sense of continuity. You realize that you weren't on the Earth. You were the Earth, and now you are the sun. The boundaries between me and the world have dissolved into the plasma. You are the energy of the cosmos, dancing in a red-hot ball of fire. You have reached the end of the memoir, and you find that the final page is blank, waiting for the light to write something new. 6.5. The supernova. Whisper. The sun's time is almost up. It has burned through its remaining fuel. It cannot hold itself up against its own gravity any longer. There's a moment of absolute, terrifying tension, a cosmic intake of breath, and then the end. But it isn't a dark end. It is a supernova. The sun explodes, a cataclysm of light that outshines the entire galaxy. In that explosion, you are scattered. The atoms of the granite, the atoms of the oceans, the atoms of the humans, they are flung outward into the great dark at millions of miles per hour. You are a cloud of dust now, a nebula, a vast glowing ghost of a solar system drifting through the intergalactic silence. You are the ether we have been talking about. You are the stardust from which everything is made. As you drift, you look back at the place where the Earth once was. There is nothing there but a white dwarf, a small, cold ember of a star. But you don't mourn. You look forward. Ahead of you, in the deep dark, another cloud of gas is beginning to swirl. Gravity is starting its work again. Another sun is being born. Another world is being forged. And you, your atoms, your memory, your granite soul, will be there. You will be the dust that settles on the next planet. You will be the iron in the next world's core. You will be the stone that a new civilization uses to build its first temple. The memoir never truly ends. It just starts a new volume. 6.6. The final silence of the void. Now, the story is over. We have traveled from the first spark of the Earth's birth to the final scatter of its atoms. We have seen the mountains rise and fall. We have heard the giants thunder and the machines roar. And now, there is only the silence of the nebula. Lying in your bed, feel that nebula. You are a part of it. You are the stardust. You are the ether. The world you inhabit, your room, your house, your life, is just a temporary arrangement of that dust. It is a beautiful arrangement, but it is not the whole story. The real story is the silence. The real story is the permanence of the atoms. You don't need to hold on to yourself tonight. You don't need to protect your identity. You can dissolve into the dark. You can let the music of the nebula carry you away. The granite has returned to the stars. The memoir is closed. The light has gone out, and only the peace remains. Sleep. Deep cosmic sleep. You are home. You are eternal. Good night.